Okay, so October. It's basically here, right? And you know what that means. Cozy nights, pumpkin spice lattes, and of course, a brand new stack of romance novels. And trust me, this month, there are some seriously amazing releases. I'm talking second chances, forbidden romances, a little bit of mystery. There's really something for every kind of romance reader out there.
It's true. It's a really good mix this month. And what I think is so interesting is like how much these books really play with our deepest desires. Like, that need for connection, the desire for escape. Take, for example, the second chance romance, right? Such a popular trope. And this month, we've actually got four novels that are really digging into those what if scenarios.
Four. Okay, so you know I am powerless against a good second chance love story. Like, where do we even begin?
Well, we could start with The Memory of Us by Isabelle Quinn. It's generating a ton of buzz online, and I think a lot of it is that Quinn just gets it. She
Yeah.
really taps into that like universal longing for a lost love, that ache of what could have been.
Ugh, yes, that's what gets me every time, that bittersweet nostalgia, It's like revisiting a part of your past and wondering if there's still something there, some ember just waiting to be rekindled. Okay, so tell me more. Tell me more about the memory of us. What makes this one stand out from, all the other second chance romances out there?
So a lot of reviewers are praising Quinn's writing for its emotional depth,
Yeah.
but I think it goes beyond just, making you cry. She captures how our past relationships, even the ones that like maybe didn't end so well, how they really shape who we become. And it's about, finding the courage to confront those old hurts, those old wounds, and figure out if you can actually move forward with someone while also like honoring the past.
Okay, now that is an interesting take on the whole second chance trope.
Mm.
Because it's not just about rekindling the romance, right?
Oh,
It's about reconciling with yourself, too.
yes, exactly. And that's something we also see in Forever and Always by Brooke Wilder, although it's a completely different setting. This one gives very small town vibes. A family-run bookstore. The perfect backdrop for a story about rediscovering a love you thought you'd lost forever.
Ooh, a bookstore romance. Okay, yes, this is definitely going on my to be read list. But okay, let's say I'm in the mood for something a little lighter, a little more sprinkled with sugar, maybe.
In that case, you have got to check out Lydia Hale's Sweetest Sin. This one is high school sweethearts, a charming bakery owner. Like, it's basically a Hallmark movie in book form, but with Hale's signature wit and heart.
Okay, so you said high school sweethearts, bakery owner, witty banter. Yeah, I'm sold. But tell me, is this one of those stories where the characters never really moved on? Or is there, like, genuine growth, genuine rediscovery happening?
That's the thing about Sweetest Sin that I really enjoyed. Actually, Hale doesn't shy away from, the realities of time passing, right? The
Hmm.
characters have changed, they've experienced life, its ups and downs, but there's still that undeniable spark between them. It makes you wonder, can you ever truly go back? Or is it about finding a new path forward with someone who's already a part of your story?
Ooh, that is a good question. It's like those
Mhm.
couples, who break up in high school, go their separate ways. But then, like, years later, they find their way back to each other. Sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. But it always makes for a really compelling story.
And sometimes it's those completely unexpected reunions that can be the most powerful. That's definitely the case with Emma Montgomery's Love in the Wind. Now, this one is a bit different from the other. It's not explicitly a second chance romance, but it does explore similar themes of healing, forgiveness, finding love in unexpected places.
Interesting. Okay, now you've got me intrigued. Tell me more about Love in the Wind. What's the story here?
So picture this. You have this woman and she's escaping a difficult past. She's looking for some peace, some quiet. And she finds herself drawn to a reclusive artist who lives in this charming small town. And this man, he just understands her pain in a way that no one else ever has.
Okay, so we've got small town, emotional baggage, a touch of mystery. I love it. But we've been talking a lot about second chances, rekindled flames. What about when completely different worlds collide?
Well, that's where Between Two Stars by Alisha Patel comes in. Okay, so get this. An astrophysicist and a travel photographer are stuck on a cruise ship together. And let's just say their first encounter. Not exactly written in the stars.
Oh, see, now I love a good clash of personalities, especially when you've got that, like, forced proximity, like you do on a cruise. They have to figure it out, but different worlds colliding, I mean, that can be about way more than just their careers, right?
Oh, absolutely. Patel uses that contrast, with their professions to really explore cultural differences too. So you've got the astrophysicist, very grounded in logic, data, and then you've got the photographer who's all about emotions, experiences, and it's about how they bridge that gap, find beauty in those differences, realizing sometimes it's the people you least expect who can really broaden your horizons.
It's so true. It's like that whole opposites attract thing, but it's not just about the initial attraction, right? It's about finding that common ground, that shared spark that makes it more than just a fling. Okay, yeah, this one's going straight to the top of my TBR pile. Okay, so we've got second chances, we've got worlds colliding. What other romantic escapades await us this month?
Well, if you're looking for pure escapism, look no further than His Royal Obsession by Serena Clarke. It's got everything you could ever want in a royal romance. I'm talking stolen glances across crowded ballrooms, forbidden love, and enough court intrigue to keep you guessing until the very last page.
Okay, so you had me at royal romance. Because honestly, I have a total weakness for those kinds of stories. It's like stepping into a fairy tale, right? All the glamour, the drama. But you mentioned intrigue. Is this one of those romances where duty and love are at odds?
100%. You've got a prince who's basically duty-bound to marry for the good of his country, right? And then he meets this woman who just completely challenges everything. How he sees the world, what he thought he knew about love, makes him question everything.
Oh, I love that. That classic conflict, head versus heart. And sometimes breaking the rules is the most exhilarating thing you can do. Speaking of breaking the rules.
You're thinking of Dancing with a Stranger by
Yeah,
Camilla Frost, right?
maybe.
This one takes enemies to lovers to a whole other level. We're talking rival dancers, forced to partner up for this huge, prestigious competition. Of course, the chemistry's off the charts. The dance floor becomes this, battleground for their attraction. And let's just say things get pretty steamy on the dance floor and off.
Okay, yes. I am here for all of that. There's just something about two people who just push each other's buttons, challenge each other physically, emotionally, that makes for such a fiery, passionate romance. But it can't all be about the competition, right? What's the real emotional core of this story?
That's what I think makes Dancing with a Stranger really special. Frost goes deeper, She really digs into the vulnerabilities these characters are hiding beneath all that, tough exterior. So you've got Ivy. She's this fiercely independent dancer who's terrified of letting anyone in. And then you've got Liam, the carefree charmer, but of course he's hiding a painful past. And it's through dance that they learn to trust each other, let their guards down, find healing in each other's arms.
Ugh, that is so powerful. It's like their shared passion, dance, becomes this way for them to really communicate, to understand each other on a deeper level. Okay, yep, adding this to my TBR list immediately.
Yeah.
But we all know life isn't always about grand passions and dramatic showdowns, right? Sometimes it's the quiet stories that stay with you the longest. And that brings us to Whispers in the Moonlight by Grace Everly. This one, I've heard it described as like a slow burn, atmospheric kind of read. Perfect for people who love their romance with a little side of, cozy mystery.
Yes. Sometimes you just need to curl up with a book that feels like a warm hug, And Whispers in the Moonlight totally delivers on that. It's about finding solace, connection in the most unexpected places. And yeah, it's got a little touch of mystery that keeps you guessing.
Ooh, okay, I'm intrigued. Give us a sneak peek. What's the mystery all about in this one?
Okay, so picture this. You've got this young woman, Lily. She escapes the city looking for some peace and quiet at her grandmother's seaside cottage.
Okay, I'm already hooked.
And then she discovers all these old love letters
Oh.
and uncovers this, decades-old secret, something that's been haunting her family for generations. And then, of course, there's the handsome, brooding neighbor who seems to be hiding some secrets of his own.
Okay, so you said seaside cottage. You said handsome, brooding neighbor. It sounds like the absolute perfect blend of romance, mystery, and just that atmospheric setting, the kind that just pulls you in. I can practically smell the salty air, hear the waves crashing on the shore.
Grace Everly just knows how to create an immersive experience with her writing. And with Whispers in the Moonlight, it's almost as much about falling in love with the setting as it is with the characters.
I love that. But okay, for every quiet, contemplative romance out there, there's a book that's, all about breaking the rules, embracing the thrill of the chase.
Exactly.
And for that, we turn to Sienna Black's Breaking the Rules, which, by the way, this is the sports romance that everyone has been talking about. So we're talking professional soccer. We've got this journalist. She's determined to get this career-making story. And then there's the player who, well, he has a bit of a reputation as a heartbreaker. What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, let me tell you, Sienna Black knows how to write a slow burn. I mean, the kind that leaves you breathless. The chemistry between Max and Sophie, the journalist, off the charts. But their careers, constantly clashing with their growing feelings. It's a total game of cat and mouse, both on and off the field. Black keeps you guessing right up until the very end.
I love it. It's like they say, the best lived stories are always a little bit messy.
100%. And breaking the rules, it really leans into that, the messiness of love, the highs, the lows. Sienna Black doesn't shy away from the challenges, the challenges of trying to balance ambition and love.
Yeah.
Especially in a world where the lines between your professional life and your personal life, they get blurred.
So, okay. It seems like this month there is truly something for everyone. Second chances, forbidden love, slow burns, mysteries. We've even got some, fancy footwork in the mix. What an amazing lineup of romances to add to our TBR list. As we start to wrap things up here, is there any, one big takeaway you would want our listeners to keep in mind as they dive into these books?
I think ultimately all of these books, they remind us that love is a journey. It's not a destination. And it requires us to take risks, to face those challenges, and just be open to the possibility that something extraordinary could happen, even when it terrifies us.
That's beautifully said. And sometimes, the most unexpected detours lead to the most amazing destinations. So to all our listeners out there, happy reading. And don't forget to let us know which of these October romances steals your heart. Until next time, keep turning those pages and embrace the power of a truly good love story.